Alright everybody, so welcome to the last part of this replay of Kingdom Hearts 3, or Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, so basically I have to do something. I just need to make sure that it's on a save file where I haven't done this before. Where it's available. Okay, so no. Because there is a cutscene that, unfortunately, I fucked up with. Beat the game in order to see it. And what happened is that I accidentally saw the cutscene. When I wasn't really paying attention. So let's see. There we go. And I just want to make sure I get footage of this. What great timing. It's just terrible. Will you look at that? I came to check on the cornerstone of light, and that's when I saw it. I don't know how long it's been there. It looks like it leads somewhere. But where? Do you think it's connected to the past like the other one? Or maybe that's what the organization wants us to think. It might be a trap. Whatever the case, we should be prepared for anything if we're going to check it out. Alright, so that cutscene. When I wasn't recording, and I think I was just going to, do, like, grinding or something, at some point, I accidentally saw that because I didn't know I could at the time. So, yeah. So, basically, and I don't think it'll let me see it again. Yeah, because I already saw it on the save file. So, yeah, so this is the Lingering Will. And I am going to set myself up for cheesing this guy, because I do not give a fuck. So yeah. And if anyone else says otherwise, I don't care. I'm watching the Gamer's Joints video on how to do this. Alright, so first, switch the Keyblade to Fenrir. Let's see here. Right here, I think the Moogle is in Minnie's thing? No. So let's see. You don't necessarily need any specific items or accessories equipped, but he recommends strength stuff. Where do you get Serenity Gems? Because I have enough of these to do the full blooms. Mad Bumper and Reckless, Raining Garden, Cave of Remembrance, Depths. Okay, so hold on. I'm just going to switch back to Ultimate Weapon for a little bit.
Light! Yeah! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! Yeah! Back off!
Alright, sorry about that, guys. Someone else has in the near future or something.
It's over! It's over!
I don't even really think I need this stuff, honestly. So, anyways, let's see. I don't even leave this on. Wait, I might have want to click the air combo boost. Yeah. Alright, so... basically... Alright, so when you have all of those abilities off and shit. Man, I forgot how, like, low you jump without the high boost, or high jumps. But yeah, I don't really give a shit to cheese those or not. Aqua. Then... a Keyblade? Who are you? I know you. We've met before. Way back when. No, that wasn't you. You're not the one I chose. Where is he? Nort. Is that you? Nort. Nort! Nort! Did it the second time because I didn't think I did it that well the first time. Yeah, low resolution textures on, not on his Keyblade, but on his character model. Alright, come back down. There we go. So yeah, literally you hit him with Donald's limit, the comet limit. When he come juggle him up in the air for a bit, that's it. Your power. That's what I felt within you. no anti-aliasing on his character model or his the keyblade for some reason. So yeah, now I have the gold crown. I do not give a shit what I just did. So what I just did was cheesed the fuck out of that fight. And the reason why I did that is because I've taken a look at people actually doing the fight. It's not fun, from what I can tell, and that sucks. It sucks ass. Yeah, I just don't understand why, like, anyone would subject themselves to that fucking fight. Like, I did, and, let me see. And Donald, you're supposed to turn on auto limit. I forgot about that, but, for that, you're supposed to, just do all the shit that I did. And then just, have all the, abilities that I had on Sora turned off, and, and have negative combos and shit, as well as no combo pluses on, and yeah. So yeah, so that's basically it, for that. Now, to get the final, or the secret ending, for Birth by Sleep, you play on critical mode. The easiest way to do this, play on critical mode, and when it comes to items, have all three proofs: proof of connection for doing the Lingering Will fight, proof of non-existence for doing the fight with, or the fights against the Data Org, and the proof of peace for doing the Mushroom 13. That's all you need before you go into the last fight. Then what you need to do is redo the final fight with Xemnas, and you'll unlock it. Hold on one second. I want to get rid of all of my, all of my, synthesis materials. And the reason why you'd want a Full Bloom Plus is because it, well, apparently, like, 2 at least, is that it'd increase your strength. But yeah, so here we go. So yeah, just come back up here. Hold on. I should save really quickly. Probably shows a different save file to save over, but whatever. And you just need to redo this part of the game, which I'm just gonna do because why not? I rewatched the original video I did explaining this shit, and I did it so, like, kinda over the top.
Get ready, Xemnas. It all ends here.
Not over the top, just like try hard, kinda. You know.
So, it seems your hearts have led you to obliteration. Perhaps it doesn't pay to be too loyal to one's heart. I will have to be sure and remember that.
No!
Wait, no, I'm saying this
We
is
can
more
take him on our
relaxed.
own.
I feel better about it. I love this sequence is the thing. It's just so over the top, stupid, but it's great. Anime. Stunt dodge. I just love that like the ending sequence, they just wanted it to look cool, so they just had Sora like doing all of his dumb shit in regards to like his abilities, like in the cutscenes, which is great.
Take this! Yeah! This is it! Take this! Yeah! This is it! Yeah! Back off! Back off! Back off!
Yeah, I kind of wish that they would remake this game in the first game in Unreal Engine 4, and bring some of the improvements that they brought with 3 into those, like all of the party members being available at once in the world. You know, thank you, Goofy. This will have VOD mute over the replay of the ending credits, by the way.
I need more rage.
Or at least, like...
I need more hearts.
The
Xemnas,
AI they use.
There's more to a heart than just anger or hate.
To
it's
remove,
full of all
like,
kinds of feelings.
most of the song.
Don't you remember?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Gosh, you all did great.
you're coming back with us, right?
I had given in to the darkness.
Riku!
How am I gonna face everyone?
Like this?
I like how that's a callback to Kingdom Hearts 1.
Hurry!
I'll open a path.
You don't belong in the Dark Realm anymore, Riku.
How do we get out of here, Your Majesty? Who did this?
Well, I'm not sure. But we better hurry and get through.
Wait for me!
Come on!
Thank you, Namine. Sure. See? We meet again, like we promised.
Huh?
You said we'd meet again. But when we did, we might not recognize each other.
I did, didn't I?
But I knew you.
It's strange.
I think I understand. I see myself the way you remember me. And you see yourself the way I remember you.
I always thought nobodies were doomed to fade back into darkness.
Yeah. But you and I didn't. We got to meet our original selves.
So, we can be together again.
Right. Anytime Sora and Kairi are together.
We'll be together every day. Right, Sora?
Yeah.
It is funny, like, I know that the fandom probably thinks, like, they probably ship, like, Roxas and Shion. I think Roxas and Naminé were probably the ones that they were trying to set up at the start from this game. Because Sora and Kairi are supposed to be the canon couple of, like,
Look sharp.
the trio. You know?
Huh?
Don't worry. You're all still you.
Hey, let's go home.
Riku, come on.
Yeah.
Sora! Riku!
What?
Shit reminds me so much of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, Season 4, I think it was. That shitty Awakening the Dragons arc.
Riku!
I hope I'm not the only one noticing there's, like, every so often, like, a stutter or a pause when it switches camera angles for no reason. I don't know if that's because I'm playing on PS5 or not. And it's technically emulating the PS4 version of the game. At least I think that's what's going on. And it's funny because it's playing it's playing the PS4 version of the game, the PS4 Pro version, so... I don't know why that says drain, that's clearly just a shield. I don't know if that's a translation error or not. Or like if there's multiple like different translations for whatever the kanji or katakana was there in Japanese. And so they went with like one that doesn't really fit. Sometimes that happens.
Hey, Riku?
Yeah?
I wanted to thank Naminé, but I couldn't bring myself to say it. Not until everything was back to the way it was before.
Don't worry. We'll make that happen. Once this is over, you can thank her all you want.
Yeah!
Yeah, if you notice that Sora sounds slightly deeper in terms of his voice there, it's because that is a Final Mix exclusive, like, part of the cutscene. And so they had Haley Joel Osment and David Gallagher record those lines in 2014 when they were putting, either 2013 or 2014 when they were putting this together, and they were having the English cast like record the lines for Final Mix exclusive cutscenes. I pressed triangle there, game.
Are you certain you can trust
Thank you.
Embrace. Nothing. Embrace. Nothing.
I feel like the audio mix is off in regards to like hearing those lines from Xemnas. Oh yeah, and Riku's audio you can tell was a bit scratchy. I don't know what the fuck, like, mic that they recorded that on. But it's clear that he was peaking through the mic. Not the last time that that's gonna happen in Kingdom Hearts, unfortunately. The Remind DLC unfortunately has moments of that.
Heroes from the realm of light. I will not allow it to end this way. Not yet. If light and darkness are eternal, Then surely we nothings must be the same. Eternal.
You're right. Light and darkness are eternal. Nothing probably goes on forever too. But guess what, Xemnas?
That doesn't mean you're eternal.
No more eternal than that radiance of yours. Anger and hate are supreme. We shall go together.
God damn it.
Anger and hate.
Okay, thank fuck it starts over from this part of the fight.
We shall go together.
That's what I was trying to do.
It's over. Take this. Back off. It's over.
Why don't you?
That's it.
Why don't you? Can you see our hearts?
Alright.
Sora!
Here we go.
Is that all you got?
Take this!
We shall go together.
I thought he was gonna go into maybe his last phase or some shit.
We shall go together. No such thing.
Here we go.
No!
There we go.
We did it!
I wouldn't be too sure of that. Sora. I can't.
Don't say another word. It's not over. It's just not.
How can you say that? Even if we could go on. Look where we are.
Aw, come on, Riku. You've been hanging out in darkness too long. You gotta try and think positive.
Sora? You lead.
Got it.
You know, I always figured I was better at stuff than you.
Really?
Are you mad?
No. I kinda always thought you were better at everything, too.
Really shows Sora's
Riku,
maturity over the game.
Look! What's that light?
Well, the last 2 games more so. Makes this Flandersation in the other games really, really apparent. Like, I hate the way Sora's written in a lot of the other games.
End of the road.
Yep.
Even in 3, it's not great. Like, it's better than it was in the other games,
Put
but
me
like
down.
in 3, it's just
I
not
can walk.
as good as it could be.
You know, maybe the darkness has gotten to me too. Riku!
This world is perfect for me. If this is what the world really is, just this, then maybe I should fade back into darkness.
Riku.
If the world is made of light and darkness, we'll be the darkness.
Yeah. The other side. The realm of light is safe now. Kyrie, the king, and the others are there.
That's what I mean. Hey, Sora. Could you help me? I want to get down to the water. At least the waves sound the same. What I said back there about thinking I was better at stuff than you? To tell you the truth, Sora, I was jealous of you.
What for?
I wished I could live life the way you do. Just following my heart.
Yeah, well, I've got my share of problems too.
Like what?
Like wanting to be like you.
Well, there is one advantage to being me. Something you can never imitate.
Really? What's that?
Having you for a friend.
Then I guess I'm okay the way I am. I've got something you could never imitate too.
Sora? I think it's for you.
Thinking of you wherever you are. We pray for our sorrows to end, and hope that our hearts will blend.
Now I will step forward to realize this wish. And who knows? Starting a new journey may not be so hard. Or maybe it's already begun. There are many worlds, but they share the same sky. One sky, one destiny.
Yeah, they re-rendered this cutscene in HD and widescreen,
Light.
but they didn't apply, like,
The door to light.
a great amount of anti-aliasing.
We'll go together. Yeah.
We'll go together, is how that should have been delivered, but this was like 2005, 2006 when they recorded this dub. But yeah. Get ready for VOD mute.
Sora! Riku!
Mainly in their hair and some of their clothing, you can see didn't get anti-alias properly. When they re-rendered this for this version of the game.
We're back.
You're home.
Alright, so it's now just regular music from the game. Yeah. I fucking love this game. I love this game. I love that ending. That ending is so well done. Like, whoever directed the cutscenes for that, well, chef's kiss. Yeah, and I think this is something I probably said at the end of the main game before I got into the post-game stuff. You can tell that this, first of all, the credits and everything, it's still formatted as if it were 4:3. They didn't stretch it at all to the 16:9 ratio. The screenshots that they showed at first are still low resolution. Those were still screenshots taken from the PS2 version of the game. And these FMVs as well. These are still in 4:3, and they're still, like, at best 480i. I don't know. I assume that they would still have the video files for these, so I don't understand why they didn't re-render them in at least 1080p. I kind of get why not re-render or reformat them for 16:9. I just don't understand why they didn't re-render them in 1080p. Especially because these are in-engine cutscenes too. It probably would have been decently easy to recreate them. But yeah. And the same thing with the pre-rendered cutscene before the credits. That was re-rendered in widescreen, and it was upped in terms of resolution, but they did not apply anti-aliasing at all. Or if they did re-render these in 1080p, why did they not apply anti-aliasing? It's a remnant, unfortunately, of these HD remasters being done for the PS3 as opposed to the PS4. Because there's the same problem with the cutscenes in Rechain of Memories. They're all pre-rendered, but they're made in-engine. That's actually pretty nice that he turns back into his human self. But yeah, it's just otherwise really dumb. They re-rendered the pre-rendered cutscenes from Rechain of Memories in widescreen, but they did not apply any anti-aliasing. They also, I think, could have just made those cutscenes real-time as well. I don't understand why they didn't. But yeah. Even if they didn't redo the lip sync by making the cutscenes real time, they could have just still done that. But yeah. So this will probably be my final video for the PS4 version of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. At least the English version. I do plan on, because I have them, I do plan on replaying through the series with the Japanese versions of the games. That'll be interesting to do. But yeah. Melissa Disney. Pat Morita, I think this was his last voice acting role before he died. That confuses the hell out of me, why, like, they didn't adapt Aladdin King of Thieves for Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that was the only world I would have, besides Hercules, that I would have liked to have seen revisited in KH3 from the previous games. Certainly could have easily replaced Frozen. Because that world means absolutely nothing to the story of that game. And like Disney unfortunately really, really hampered them on probably what was their original plans for that world. I don't think they would have given a shit what they did with Aladdin King of Thieves. It's like, that was a good movie, so I don't know. I honestly think they could... It's either that or for this game, they could have easily skipped over fucking Return of Jafar and did King of Thieves for this game to wrap up that stuff. But yeah. Like, I understand why they did it, though. They wanted to reuse assets from the first game, and, well, they had Jafar in the first game as well as Iago, so why not? But yeah. Friedrichs. This pre-rendered cutscene too is
Nothing's
just enough
changed,
anti-aliasing.
Nope. Nothing will.
What a small world.
But part of one that's much bigger.
Yeah.
Hey, Riku. What do you think it was? The door to the light.
This.
This?
Yeah. It's always closer than you think.
Sora! Riku!
Hey, what's up?
Look.
From the king?
They should have had, like, deep breathing. Because it's clear that's what she's doing. There's just no sound for it. Like a... that kind of shit, you know? And that's set up for Recoded. God. Actually, technically that was supposed to be set up for Birth by Sleep, but then it got retroactively put for Recoded. And here we go. The Birth by Sleep secret ending. That is interesting. I never realized that. I'll explain what I mean in a second after this video is done. Or the FMV is done. Okay, now this is the secret ending. The true secret ending. Destiny is inevitable. Imagine if they had what's his name? The guy who played Thanos in the MCU. Imagine if they had him like reading that as narration. Destiny is inevitable. You know? Okay, I did not remember if you could save your game after that. basically, what I was meaning was that in the cutscene with Terra, Aqua, and Ventus in their Keyblade armors, they're seen picking up the Sora, Mickey, and Riku's Keyblades. What it seemed to me in terms of that original cutscene, I'm pretty sure that that was part of the original PS2 version of the game before Final Mix was developed. It seemed like that was setting up some sort of sequel. I don't know what the intent would have been, but it seems like rather than a prequel, it seems like it was maybe set in like the distant future or post Kingdom Hearts 3, for whatever Nomura was planning at the time that they made that cutscene. But when you get to the Birth by Sleep secret ending cutscene, it's completely different. They don't have it. It seems to pick up right after they picked up those Keyblades, but when the cutscene starts, they don't have the Keyblades. There's Xehanort, Old Man Xehanort, and Vanitas shows up. He spawns out of Xehanort. It's actually weird. You can tell that they expanded these ideas over the next several years after Final Mix was released for this game. But it seems to me that a lot of the ideas Nomura had at the time, he either changed his mind on, or he had a concept of a plan, or something like that, for what was to eventually come in what became Birth by Sleep. So I have a theory as to what was originally the plan in Nomura's mind. So, I don't think that there was supposed to be more than 3 games after Kingdom Hearts 2 was released. What I think was supposed to happen is, they would have done Birth by Sleep. That was definitely something that Nomura was planning, just based on those, pre-rendered cutscenes in the post-credit scenes. You know, he was definitely leaning into Birth by Sleep. Now, I think at first, I don't really know if the cutscene is necessarily indicative of what he was initially planning. But it seems like, whatever the plan originally was, it seems like that was supposed to take place in the future, post whatever the hell he was planning, probably for the second Keyblade War. Because it's set in the Keyblade Graveyard with all the different Keyblades of all the different Keyblade users who are now dead. That got expanded on in Key, which is fine. I don't care. And then you have the planting of the seeds for Old Man Xehanort. That much was clear. Now, for whatever game that was, I think he came up with the idea that Xehanort was going to be recompleted after his Heartless and Nobody were defeated, and some Seeker of Darkness and Xemnas. That much is clear. It makes sense. It makes sense to go that for the next logical step. Because I think Nomura would have probably been jotting down these ideas as he was coming up with scenarios and ideas and different things for this game, and what he was going to do next. However, in the year and a half just about between when Kingdom Hearts 2 originally came out in Japan and when Final Mix came out in 2007, it was either a year and a half or 2, however long it was. He changed his mind on several things. Instead of a distant sequel, it was going to be a prequel, set 10 years before the first Kingdom Hearts. So essentially like 11 years before Kingdom Hearts 2. That much is stated in Birth by Sleep. He did not originally have any idea what he was going to do for the Lingering Will. That much is shown. Because you show the Lingering Will's armor in the first bit of that or the last bit of that pre-rendered cutscene before the Birth by Sleep ending. And, that was just teasing of stuff to come. Now, in Final Mix, he put in the Lingering Will. He he came up with that he once saw Sora, but he's not the one he gave the promise or whatever the hell he said in the cutscene subtitles. I don't know why they didn't have Terra's actor just voice act those, but whatever. But yeah, so he came up with that. Then they made that pre-rendered cutscene where everyone's helmets slowly get torn off. First, you have the reveal of Aqua, who we don't know. Terra's face, whom we didn't know his name. We didn't know any of these guys' names at the time. What was it? You see the Lingering Will armor slowly being shattered, and his helmet gets shattered off, revealing his face, and his eyes flicker into the like golden color of Xehanort's. And that was a tease of things to come. We didn't get a full answer, and it was expanded upon in Birth by Sleep. Now, it's a secret ending. It's stuff for teasing for the future. It's whatever. Then Ventus was meant to drive intrigue because we had just spent an entire game with Sora and Roxas. You know, we spent the entire 3-hour prologue with Roxas. His name comes up. We get flashback cutscenes with him. We get Axel missing him. And we get the final cutscenes with Sora and Roxas after they were reunited, and Naminé and Kairi, and everything. And them saying their final goodbyes and stuff. You know, and fully merging back together with Sora and Kairi. That I do believe was meant to drive intrigue, showing a character that looks exactly like Roxas, but we know he can't be Roxas. Because I'm assuming Nomura also came up with the idea that somehow this guy was linked to Sora, and that's why Roxas looks like he does. Why he doesn't look like Sora, but he looks like someone completely different. So he had the seeds of the ideas to explain the Lingering Will, to explain why Roxas looks like he does, and all this shit. Or maybe it was actually just like 2 games after Kingdom Hearts 2. Birth by Sleep, which was, I think, intended to be another side game from the get-go, and then on a handheld system, like Chain of Memories was originally, and then what was originally conceived of for Kingdom Hearts 3. The problem, however, comes in Square Enix wanting to expand the franchise onto different handheld consoles. 358 Days Over 2 was fine, I think, to come out because it was a DS game, and it was a prequel to 2, midquel to 1 and 2, and then a game that goes in tangent, or not in tangent, in tandem at the same time roughly as Chain of Memories. For at least most of that. And then, to delve into Roxas' backstory. That's where we get the idea of Shion and everything, and we delve into Roxas and Axel's friendship, and everything that happened between Roxas and Organization 13, as well as stuff with Riku, Diz, and /Ansem, and Mickey. We got all that. That all is good. And yeah, so that was fine. Where it gets tricky, however, is with Recoded. Recoded does not need to exist. You don't need it. I'm sorry, but you don't. Even if you like the game, you have to admit, it is one of the most useless Kingdom Hearts games in the franchise. You don't have to play it. You can just watch the movie in 2.5 or 1.5 plus 2.5. You can just watch that, you get all of what you need from it. You don't need to play the game. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth of it. And the little bit of relevance it has towards the franchise got mentioned in Kingdom Hearts 3 early on when they enter Twilight Town and all that. Yeah. That definitely was not a game that was planned to be made. Nomura came up with the idea for the game when he was drunk. He planned out a rough outline, I think, of it, and then they expanded upon that. You know? But yeah. And unfortunately, it became a Chain of Memories knockoff. Just not even remotely as great for the little bit of, or for what worked with Chain of Memories. Then you had Birth by Sleep. That was definitely the game I think that Nomura was planning out certain things for, and he definitely wanted to go into. However, after Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix came out, as well as Re-Chain of Memories, in Japan, Nomura got offered the chance to work on a Final Fantasy game, which was Final Fantasy Versus 13, while Square Enix was planning out the Fabula Nova Crystallis with the Final Fantasy 13 series. Final Fantasy Versus 13 did not work out because Nomura kept changing his mind on certain things, kept not planning or not having a full idea of what he wanted to do, and eventually he was taken off of it, and his ideas that they could still work with were turned by Hajime Tabata and Square Enix into Final Fantasy 15. Separated from the 13 stuff, has some lingering stuff from 13, but granted, pretty much all Kingdom Hearts, or all the Final Fantasy games have that. They have certain things in common, like the crystals and shit. But yeah. Even though most of them take place in different universes, unless they're like a sub-game, or a sequel game, or something like that. But yeah. Or even a prequel game. But yeah. And yeah, then that took up a lot of time for Nomura. So for Birth by Sleep, and I think this is also the thing with 358 Days and Recoded, he needed a co-director who could handle a lot of stuff and trying to execute his ideas into a full-fledged game. Enter Tai Yasue, and that's what happened in regards to that. And that's why Birth by Sleep, I think, turned out as bad as it did. You also have the Osaka team being placed on Kingdom Hearts duty for at least the side games, the handheld games, for however long. And to make sure that the series was still getting games and everything. They worked on Re-Chain of Memories, and what happened is they based the combat and the physics and everything from Birth by Sleep on Re-Chain of Memories. Makes sense, but like also is just a bit of a drag. It's why Birth by Sleep, in terms of the combat and the physics and everything, turned out like it did. But yeah. Then yeah, Birth by Sleep comes out. You expect Kingdom Hearts 3 to be the next game after we get introduced to the original Xehanort and the Birth by Sleep trio and Ericus and all that, and Vanitas and all that. You have all these ideas expanded into a prequel game. Dream Drop Distance only happened, in my opinion, because of Square Enix wanting to have a Kingdom Hearts game on the 3DS. Because they had a game on the Game Boy Advanced, they had 2 games on the DS, and now the 3DS was the hot new thing from Nintendo in terms of handhelds. So, yeah, you have that. Dream Drop Distance, at the very least, has more story relevance than Recoded. Not as much, I would say, as Birth by Sleep, because literally all it does is establish Riku's a Keyblade Master, Sora's not because bullshit reasons, and literally just bullshit reasons. I do not agree with not making Sora a Keyblade Master or not giving him an immediate chance to retake the test. So yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so you have all of that. I don't personally believe that 358 Days, Coded, or Dream Drop Distance were intended after Kingdom Hearts 2. That stuff is just what happened when Square Enix wanted to make another game. Or wanted more games out of the franchise to strike while the iron's hot in terms of Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, I believe 358 Days was also the product of Nintendo or Disney. No, it might have been a product of Nintendo wanting a game on their newest handheld. Coded, I think, was also the product of Disney Japan wanting another game, but on mobile phones. Then they eventually remade it for DS to spread it to the rest of the world, and everything. So yeah, but yeah, literally you can literally just skip Recoded. 358 Days, you can just have a plot summary because the game's unfortunately not great in terms of the gameplay. And yeah, and then you play Birth by Sleep, then you play Dream Drop, and then you get to Kingdom Hearts 3. Then Kingdom Hearts 3 took forever to come out, partly because Nomura was still, I think he was still directing Versus 13 at the time. They started preliminary work on Luminous Engine, and basically a year in, they had to switch to Unreal Engine 4 because Luminous was not working out for at least Osaka Team and Kingdom Hearts 3, and they just wanted to get the engine fully made and finalized by making Final Fantasy 15 on it. They took Nomura off Final Fantasy 15 and just left that up to Hajime Tabata. That takes about 2 to 3 years to be made, with the finalized ideas and everything that they wanted for the story and the characters and everything. So, yeah. Nomura gets put on Kingdom Hearts 3 in like 2013, I think, 2014, whenever that was. Then he's taken off of Versus 13, and then his full focus is clearly on 3 for the next few years. 2015 comes around. Final Fantasy VII Remake is announced at E3, I think, that year, E3 2015. I think on the PlayStation stage or something like that. And Nomura does not know he's in charge of Final Fantasy VII Remake until that announcement. He was asked for certain things in terms of inputs on it from, I think, Yoshinori Kitase, but for some reason, Square Enix higher-ups screwed up in terms of just telling him through like a call or an email, hey, we want you to direct Final Fantasy VII Remake and more of these games. And yeah, so I think Nomura, on top of getting surprised by that, was a bit salty that he was taken off of one Final Fantasy project that he was trying to work on for years, but didn't get really too far with. And then he's forced to work on a different Final Fantasy game that he personally, while he made the characters for, he does not have a direct connection with, and outside of using three of the characters, I believe. No, 4, because it's Cloud, no, 5. Cloud, Sephiroth, Aerith, Tifa, and Cid from Final Fantasy VII in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And I think Region of Memories as well. Or just Chain of Memories. As a summon, I think, for Cloud. But yeah, I can't remember, though. I need to replay Chain of Memories. But anyways, yeah, so because the Final Fantasy VII story was already written and told already in a game, they don't have to focus too much on anything but retelling that story. Nomura has his own ideas of what he wants to do for the game in terms of story expansion and differentiation from the original and all that. So he makes Final Fantasy VII Remake the way that he does. His focus, I think, is mostly on Final Fantasy VII Remake, leaving Kingdom Hearts 3, unfortunately, lacking in terms of a story and all the developments in it and everything, and he leaves Tai Yasue mainly to work with Osaka team on making the game. His intent for the game in terms of gameplay is for them to look at Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1 and try to do what they did, but in their own style and everything. Thank fuck he made them not use the fucking Command X system. But yeah. But then you have Osaka team having to work on the HD remasters of all of the games. They had to basically Frankenstein Kingdom Hearts 1 back together because they lost the source code for it from a PS2 ISO of the game, bringing that into HD, using character models and other stuff from wherever they could. Sora and Ansem's character models are specifically from Dream Drop Distance, and all that stuff. And then they had to, because they had the source code for it, I'm assuming they had to bring Chain of Memories into HD. Then they had to make the cutscene movie for 358 Days Over 2, even though they were wanting to do a remake of it for the collection, but couldn't because of time constraints. So they leave a hint for 1.5 coming out at the end of Dream Drop. Then, in terms of the credits and everything, then they announced 1.5, which came out in 2013. Then Square Enix had them do HD remasters of 2, Birth by Sleep, and the Recoded movie. They get that done for 2014, and yeah, with unfortunately some bugs and whatever the fuck else, but yeah. So then they go back to working on Kingdom Hearts 3 full time. They probably had some of their developers and everything working on 3, but to a lesser extent. While the rest worked on the remasters of all the other games. Then Square Enix had them work on the HD remaster of Dream Drop Distance for PS4. Then they took a chunk of 3, put it on the disc, and made it 0.2 because they wanted to, I guess, they tried to match the content of the previous HD remasters, especially since Square Enix wanted to charge this, or charge $60 for some reason for this fucking new remaster. I'm assuming because Final Fantasy 15 was so expensive to make and probably barely made back its budget, and a little bit more money, as well as the DLCs being expensive to produce, and just weren't probably bringing back as much of the money as it should have been, as well as the PC port of the game. So yeah, and then after that was finally done, they put all their eggs in the Kingdom Hearts 3 basket. But by then, Nomura's attention was divided between that game and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Meaning, Kingdom Hearts 3, unfortunately, is a victim of ambitions and finishing the story of the current story arc and getting all that shit done. And Kingdom Hearts 3's story is a bit simple. It doesn't really need to be too complex, but there are a lot of things missing, and I can go into that for a whole nother video and everything. But yeah, I just wanted to say all that. That probably took like 20-30 minutes. Yeah, I just wanted to say all that stuff. So yeah, so that is basically it for the replay of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on PS5. Eventually, I will start playing the games in Japanese, because I have the Japanese copies of the HD remasters in 3. So, yeah. But that's going to be in the near future at some point. So, yeah. Get ready for that at some point, guys. So, yeah. So, I really don't have much else to say. So, links in the description to all of my shits. Subscribe if you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one.